Hello, everybody. We are here for the second part of our beautiful event today, the All About Woo, day two. And I have a beautiful guest, such a magical, magical soul. And I've known her for quite some time. You know, I spoke yesterday about how Janice has been kind of with me for a very, very long time. And Dashka Garretson, her and I, Janice, and a couple others that have been in and out the portals today and yesterday, all came from the same area of getting to know one another. And it was about really starting to learn about our guides and so much more in the world. Um, the magic of Dashka has been something that I've been watching her grow. She's actually working full time, and so it is the one pre-recording that we've got done for this. And we did it interview style, and we had a lot of fun with it. I also want to mention too, for any of you who have caught any of the beginning, like the lead up fun videos with the questions, we had so much fun with them. And I would highly recommend that you go and watch them if you didn't get to see them. And they will be in the same playlist with the rest of the videos from this, so you can catch them. Okay, Dashka, we're here to do this, and I'm very, very excited to introduce you to this beautiful crowd. So this is, I'm going to call you my friend,
Yeah.
Dashka
Yay.
Garrett. She's a beautiful soul. She's actually an RN and a holistic healer, and she's bridging science and the soul. She actually helps you to feel good in your body and thrive. With that in mind, I wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper with that. Dashka is a certified medical intuitive, bioenergetics practitioner, an intuitive healer, and a registered nurse with over 20 years of clinical experience. Known for her gentle presence and her fiercely compassionate care, she helps people connect to their innate power by bridging the worlds of science and soul. Through energy medicine, emotional clearing, and heart-led support, she creates safe, transformative spaces for healing and growth, helping clients reclaim their joy, vitality, and true sense of self. And I really do recommend that if you haven't heard the little video that we did before the summit, I really, really strongly encourage you to go have a listen to that because it really delves a little bit more deeper into Dashka and her whole experience with meeting her surgical team and stuff. And when I say surgical team, I mean that energy surgical team, that spirit team. Hi, Dashka.
Thank you.
Your topic today is the bioenergetics, and that's the profound connection between your emotions and physical health and vitality. I absolutely love the energy of that because it makes me want to explore. And like when you talk about biofield and things like that, I'm like a sponge right now. Like I'm very much in tune with what you want to express to everybody. So tell us first a little bit about maybe your background coming up into this.
Um, okay, so background from a clinical standpoint, as a registered nurse, we have to do continuing education for licensure, right? And I found a class for something along the lines of align your chakras and energetic healing for physical health and vitality. And I found Healing Touch program, which was a continuing education opportunity for nursing. And it's a holistic healing program that is accredited through the National Nursing Association. And so I got continuing ed credit for the class and learned about energetics and learned about chakras and how to get in touch with our energy. And before seeing the flyer in the elevator at the hospital, I was not clear or didn't know about chakra. Like I've heard the word of chakras, but I didn't know, I wouldn't be able to describe or really define them. And then after the class, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And absolutely fell in love with energy medicine and how profound what we can't see about our health and our biofield. I call it biofield. Common name is aura, the field around your body, right? This is a part of us, is a part of each individual person. You just can't see it. And how much our energy affects our physical health and vitality, and also our emotional and mental well-being and balance. So I took Healing Touch program as far as I possibly could and got to be certified as a practitioner. So that took me quite a few years to do. But over that time, then I discovered other modalities and energy medicine that I fell in love with and combine all these tools to make my own medicine. Yeah.
I so love that because I know for myself, and I think there's many people amongst the wisdoms keepers and the storytellers that are here this week that have really gone into different types of modalities and then really created their own from that, really expanded into the energy of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what bioenergetics is.
So your energy system is multifold, right? If you say the human energy system, I think of as unique to each individual person, your human, your person, your individual, right? So we have our chakras, the seven major energy centers. This is how we both transmit and receive energy from the universal energy system. The universal energy system being the universe, the collective, everyone else, right? So there's a universal energy field, then there's the individual energy field or the human energy field. So your individual field. So how our field connects with others, both in transmission and receiving, is the chakras, right? The seven major chakras of the system. Plus, I mean, there's many chakras, right? But working with the seven major ones of the body, those are the biggies, and then joints, all of the little joints on our body where our bones connect to each other. Then there's the biofield or the aura around us, and each one of the seven major chakras connects to a layer of the biofield. So
Okay.
there's seven layers to the aura, seven layers to the biofield that's connected to the seven major chakras. One being the root chakra, seven being the crown chakra at the top of the head, right? The first layer, the etheric layer of the biofield, is closest to the body. The seventh layer is all the way out, the farthest away from the body, right? And each one's connected to a chakra is connected to a layer of the biofield, right? So root chakra number one, sacral chakra number two is connected to the second layer of the biofield, which is our emotional center. This is our feeling center, right? Three being mental layer, our thoughts, our mental capacity, right? Our willpower, our sense of self, right? All of that, the dantian behind the solar plexus chakra where we create our innate power from. That's also the point where martial artists give out when martial art people put out their energy. That's coming from that power center of their individual self, right? So this, the anatomy connects to the third layer is the mental, fourth being the heart chakra, right? So we're giving and receiving love. So the astral layer of R is the fourth layer, right? So 1 through 4 are going out away from the body. And then there's the hara line that connects all the way from the cosmos, the star seeds and the galaxies of above in the universe, down through your point of individuation where you came into this lifetime, this knowing, this body, this human incarnation, this embodiment into this lifetime, right? Through the crown chakra, through the heart, through all seven major chakras, down out through the root into anchor at the earth star. So that's your hara line. So I think of these three components, the chakras, the biofield, and the hara line being like the anatomy of your energy system. And so how those connect to our physical health and vitality, mental and emotional well-being and balance influences our lives, right? We just can't see these parts of us, but having that, there's like an intricate physiology of how they all move and flow together. So we're creating flow and movement so things can be in motion, right? Emotion is in motion. When things are moving, we heal. Yeah. When things are stuck, we have pain.
Okay, I am First of all, I'm all the way with you because I just love the imagery of what you've been explaining because I'm very much tactile in my imagery and seeing what you're speaking of as you're speaking it. And I'm also all the way back to between the joints of every single bone. I'm like, whoa, what? Wow. Because I love doing stuff like with energy where I'm taking it to the molecular level.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if I want to use the word however, I'm just really conscious of, ooh, there's something that I never really explored as of yet. And so you've just opened up a whole portal of really unique energy for me to tap into on a whole, I'm not even sure what words I want to use with this. But I really loved the energy of you explaining the line and how it's all the way down to the Earth star because I speak of that, but in less technical terms. Like I don't know that my terms are, well, they are what they are. But I love this astral field coming down through and connecting in with the Earth star and those layers. Thank you for being very, very descriptive about that. What is your favorite area, or do you have a favorite area of favorite field that you work in?
No, I love them all.
Okay,
Right?
so
I
I
would
have
say
another.
the the most I'd say is the fifth layer is like that's where we can get really deep.
Okay.
Is our etheric. It's our divine blueprint. It's how your physical human body is when it's in optimal form without our humanness to distort or get out of alignment. So when we're in alignment, I'm lining up with that fifth layer, which is the divine for that individual where
Mhm.
they should be in this lifetime.
And now I know that because of how we're talking about this today, most of you will be unable to see me while Dashka's speaking. As she was speaking there, I closed my eyes and I literally could visualize that fifth field. And so that's what I invite you to do is um, I really energetically feel that as you're speaking this, you're doing this. Like Dashka, you're really providing this beautiful, I don't know if symbiotic is the right word, but there's some sort of energy that's flowing through you as you're describing this. And it's literally physically affecting me as I'm doing this with you. So I imagine if there were those among us watching, if they were interested in feeling it the way that I'm feeling it, it would be take a moment when she next speaks to close your eyes and let yourself be in the spaces of what she's creating as she speaks.
Mm. Yeah, what a gift. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm energetically tapping into here. Now, you spoke about the connections, that there are connections and how this level 5 is. And what's that name of the level 5 again?
Is the etheric. Is
Etheric.
the yeah.
Okay, and that makes sense to me because I can energetically feel that. Um, so when you're talking about the connection between your emotions, your physical health, what has been okay, let me go in a different direction here. I know that when I do what I call epicenter Reiki. And that's again, I went and did Reiki. I got my level 2 in that type of Reiki, except that when I started to actually practice Reiki, especially long distance, I really recognized very specific centers and that they actually were very attached to very specific individuals from that individual. Like the right hip is very much connected to the mother line, to what's going on, what has happened to you because of the mum in your life. And so
Mhm.
when you're doing this work, what are some of the character traits that you're discovering as you do this work? I imagine that's why that's why the surgeons came in. Oh, you guys probably don't even know about that. Talk about the surgeon team. Yes. Oh my goodness. You don't have to tell the story about how they came in, but maybe express um how because you've given yourself over to this, this beautiful
Mhm.
spiritual team came in to assist you in your work?
Yeah. So working on, I'm learning different healing touch techniques. There's a lot, and it is designed by nurses for nurses and then expanded out to other people beyond nursing who do physical touch on people. So physical therapists, massage therapists, other people who have touch modalities, right? Um, so there's a very sequential way of learning the techniques for a healing touch program. And we start with layers one and going out. So by when we got to the fifth layer, which is your divine blueprint, your optimal health and vitality, when a practitioner raises their vibration high enough, then, well, anytime I raise my vibration, my client's vibration rises, right? I'm raising it even higher to get to the fifth layer. And then when you work in that layer, we're like actually repairing what needs to be repaired in the body. So the energy flows in. Where energy flows, just like salt and water, wherever salt goes, water, right? So wherever energy flows, blood flows, right? So you're increasing the blood flow to that area, which means you're increasing and with that comes the exact amount of nutrients and hormones and everything that that body part needs at a cellular DNA level, right? So we're constructing and working in that field to repair and align into optimal health for that body part, right? So the surgeons came in to show me that I am like a conduit or a vessel for them to come in and do the work so they can actually repair on energetic level than the physical healing happen. Right. So they're just it's and it, again it's letting go and letting the magic come in to do it's magical. It's absolutely magical.
I love that.
And yeah, sorry, I lost track of your question.
No, 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 that's fine. You know what? I, I really felt the energy. I closed my eyes a couple times there, and I could feel the energy because I have something going on in my body right now. So, I really felt the energy, like I said, of even just being in your presence as you're speaking of this, how the magic is unfolding. So I can only imagine what it's like to be in an actual one-on-one with you. Like this is happening.
Yeah.
You wanted to
It's
speak?
so intimate. Yeah, it's very directed for that person's energy and what they need at that moment for their healing, right? And then the emotional health and vitality of whatever emotion or mental thought process or belief or feeling got stuck and trapped in that body part that we're releasing so it can move along and out of your system and back into the universal energy system and just no longer stuck in your human individual energy system any longer. Yeah.
Exactly. And I want to clarify something for everybody because they might have missed what you and I were talking about. You expressed how the healing hands was really about nurses and then rippling down into the other touch type of services, modalities, what have you. But you were really speaking about a medical field and how that works going through there. And then I introduced the surgeons that you work with. And so you spoke about the surgeons. I want to make it clear to everybody that these surgeons aren't the ones that walk into the medical room in a physical body. Well, they may at some point or may have at some point. What we're talking about here is her spiritual medical team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah. That intimate part of my divine team. Yeah.
yeah.
And not unique to me. Like I've just practiced enough to learn how to, yeah, but anybody can have them. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that because I think we tend to, as human beings, look at somebody and think, "Oh, wow, that's not me. I can't do that," kind of thing, right? And yet,
Mhm.
like
Not
again,
true.
you guys, go listen to her, the fun piece that we did with the questions, the other video, and in fact, we'll make sure they go out in the emails so that you get them after the after the summit as well. She speaks a little bit more intimately about how the surgeon team actually came in for the first time in that. And it's really magical when these things happen with ourselves, because I've had moments myself too where I've really been like, lowly me, like I can't believe this is happening to me. Like I'm only, Sandra Pelly. I'm only this human being kind of thing, and to have this happen. And
Yeah.
it comes down to having no expectations and no limitations, and really stepping into the energy of starting to feel that you are, I guess, walking in your own power. Like when
Hmm.
you like when you described about how you went from not even knowing anything about chakras to holy cow, this is like change my life kind of event, right? Um,
Yeah.
that's the type of thing one small thing can do to a person, is change them dramatically enough. And notice too, it's not necessarily something that's like an injury or whatever. It's a small, like it was the poster on the elevator wall, like you said. I didn't even know what chakras were, right? Yeah.
I just knew I didn't want to do diabetes again, right? Like, I have to get these credit hours done. I might as well learn something new and cool and sounds interesting than heart disease again or diabetes again, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, and
then I was like, absolutely fell in love.
yeah, and you paid attention to that little intuition that was telling you not to do that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Receiving that
So,
divine inspiration.
yeah, yeah. So, what else would you like to share about this?
I would say that for every physical ailment or pain that people experience, there's an emotional root cause. There's an emotional attachment. There's an emotion that wasn't expressed, that got stuffed for one reason or another, whatever reason it is. You did that to survive, to keep yourself alive in the time of the situation. And every experience that we've ever gone through, that we've walked through, or that we've slept through, or that our physical body's been in, our biofield has been in that experience as well.
Yeah. I
It's
want to
gone with you.
Yeah, I want to speak a little bit more about this because um, just to drive this home, like know that there's so many different levels of what this can look like. And what this can look like is, eating disorders. It can look like sleep disorders. It can look like people who have hoarding disorders. There's so
Mhm.
many causes that our human body just it gravitates to hanging on to something because it just doesn't know how to let go of. And it can be generational, and it can be past lives even that are coming in and affecting you to this day. And make
100%.
did you want to maybe talk about a little bit about that? Because that generational and past life stuff is stuff that, if you went to the hospital and you talked to a normal nurse, that wouldn't even come into play. But you've taken
Right.
what you know, and to those who are like let me make it clear here too to you guys who are listening, is that um, Dashka doesn't walk into a patient's room and go, "Hey, I've got this and I'm going to do this to you." No, she really feels into the energy of what's going on. And when she's guided to ask somebody, or if they start to question her, maybe explain a little bit about how that dynamic works, because you are actually doing this to some degree on patients who are not just clients who come to your door. You're actually actively helping people who are looking for help, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. In a clinical setting, it's not like my private practice where people have come to me for a specific reason, like you're saying, behavior changes that they want to make, or emotions that they want to feel, or stuff they want to let go of, or physical. A lot of it is physical, pain, ailment, things that they've come to me for, or sleep, right? People aren't sleeping well. That's another biggie. Um, in a hospital or clinical setting, it's what has gotten you to the place where you need somebody to take care of you, that you're no longer able to care for yourself. They made the choice to come in, they walked into the hospital, or they arrived at the hospital, they chose to be there. What got you to this point? Other than an acute injury, right? A lot of it is chronic medical conditions or things and lifestyle habits and thought processes and anxiety and stress and things. And so when I apply it at work in the hospital, it's a lot, mostly it is conversations around what their past has been, what's come up to the point of them having this injury or this illness, um, what emotions are stuck in that part of the body, whatever their reason that they're there for, whether it's their gallbladder or their hip or their shoulder or whatever, right? So what specific emotions, then what they can tie back to having around experiences that they've had around those emotions, right? Also, another flip side of it is sleep, is helping people to calm and rest and align their energy enough to be able to fall asleep. So I do a lot of work for people just before midnight in that like 10 to 12 p.m. as they're wanting to go to sleep, if they're or later. I mean, people don't sleep in a hospital very well at all. But anyway, if they want to try to sleep and they're not sleeping well, and we can't give any more sleep aid medication, which is, the hospitals go to, is here's a sleep aid or some chamomile tea or a warm blanket or an eye pillow. Beyond those things is like we can do some healing touch, just gentle pressure points to calm and soothe, and then help them to align to fall asleep. And then the other position is end of life care, helping people to transition and having either their permission or their loved one's permission in the room to just do some gentle spreading of their chakras to allow that transition to be smoother and easier for them. And energetically, if a client does or a patient doesn't want healing touch, then it's obvious to me to say they're saying no, right? But if a lot of times it's welcoming to say, let me just spend some time, spread your chakras, and make this transition smooth and more comfortable. Yeah.
I'm really thankful that there are people like you out there because in October we actually did experience being very much involved, my husband and I, with the passing of his mom. And believe me, I'm an energy worker, and that was the furthest thing from my mind. And as I hear you speak of that, it was like, oh man, I missed that opportunity. Although having said that, I was there doing what I was there to do, kind of thing, and I did the best I could in the circumstances. Um,
Absolutely.
and having
Yeah.
someone like you there to do something like that, or to remind people even that they can do something like that, I think is so beneficial.
Hmm. Hmm. And sometimes it's just holding space, right?
Yeah.
Just being present and holding sacred space for someone
Yeah.
as they're
I think I did more
going
of that.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is huge. And a lot of it comes back to that safe space for people to feel their feelings that they had stopped and weren't able to feel prior.
Yeah.
Conscious awareness, making, oh, yeah, I remember the feeling that created that belief that I then stuffed into my system, and I lived by that belief going, right? And you
Oh yeah.
probably did as a way to survive, to keep going, thanking that part of you for keeping yourself safe and consciously making a new choice. I'm not going to do that anymore. So when you don't believe the old belief anymore and you have replaced it with a new belief that's positive, the blood flows, the energy flows, everything moves, the body heals, and then you no longer live in that habitual negativity, right? I hope that makes sense.
You're speaking to the believer here in what you say, because that's how I changed my life, was by changing the beliefs and changing my thoughts around them and moving into new thoughts. That's totally how I changed my life.
And the
So,
physical body is the most dense, right? Out here, astral plane, we're moving in towards the body, it gets thicker and more dense, right? So the body, the solidness is the last to catch up. So it's the last, it takes the longest to heal. We can heal our energy, we can heal our emotions, we can heal our feelings. Your physical body will catch up because of the alignment down to the molecular DNA cellular level. It just takes more time, and our mind wants it to go faster than the physical body's
yeah.
capable. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope what you just said was really heard, because um, knowing that whatever each of you have been doing to get to this point you've been working through those fields unconsciously, if not
Right,
consciously, right? And
right.
because you are where you're at, your body is now more than ready to start the more deep process of the healing of the physical body now. Wow.
Absolutely. The body wants to heal. The body wants to survive, right? That's its goal, right? So it's primed. We just energetically set it into alignment where that healing can occur and can happen by changing our beliefs, by changing our emotions, by feeling our feelings and letting them pass through. We're not reliving past trauma. We're acknowledging that trauma had happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so like I'm really feeling the power of what you have to offer here today because of what you just kind of wound up with was that you've been healing here and now it's beginning to heal here. If it's not beginning, it's already in process, but it's about speeding that up now. And your offer today is the accelerate healing faster breakthrough planning call. So tell us a little bit about what that's about, please.
Just to give you a greater idea of adding energetics to your healing team by adding an energetic layer to whatever it is that you're doing to already heal yourself in whatever, or maybe you don't have chronic illness and you're not trying to heal something, but you want to maintain your health, right? Keeping your health a healthy lifestyle and activities of daily living that you enjoy, having your energetics in alignment to do that and to support that. So helping people understand that there are alternative ways of, and if you are in chronic illness, you don't have to live there for the rest of your life. That's not as good as it gets. That's not the way that it has to be, that your body wants to heal and that healing can occur when you're in alignment. So it's just a planning call where we could create a plan or identify where you are now, identify where you want to be, what you want to feel like in your optimal health and vitality, and then action steps to get you towards that in an energetic healing capacity in a way of alignment with beliefs, with emotions, with it's doing the work. I can set you up in alignment all day. It's up to you to change your mind. I can't change your mind for you. Right. So I'm helping people in alignment, then they're at a place where they can consciously make a new choice to have a new belief. Then they're out of the stuckness, out of the pain that they had been feeling with their health maintenance prior to working together. Yeah.
Yeah. I really love that you're here speaking about this. And what I'm hearing in what you're offering is that for those of you who are truly ready to start to make a very concerted difference in your life, um, Dashka's offering you literally a plan on how to do that. And also, too, on the backside of that, I imagine that stepping into working further with her provides you with the support that would really help you to maintain that plan in a way that is very, very empowering. And speaking just from personal experience, um, I went through 16 years of going through all kinds of different kinds of accidents. Dashka witnessed some of that because of our knowing each other for 5 years plus, and it wasn't any fun. It wasn't any fun at all, and it took me a long time to get to the point where and help of others as well to get to the point where I was able to say, okay, that's enough and move forward from there. And once that happened, my injuries became once every 2 or 3 years versus every, 2 or 3 months. Like it was just crazy what I put my body through in those 16 years. And now I'm at the point of really recognizing that energetic part of maintaining certain things, like maintaining my 7,500 steps a day and maintaining my arm exercises and things like that. But it took me, you know, 20 years to get that mindset shifted into that. And what Dashka's offering here is literally what it's called an accelerate healing faster breakthrough planning call.
I do, yes. And you've come so far in that you've had like just your ability to go walk, take a casual stroll or go for a hike or go for a bike ride, right? Or ride on some treacherous terrain that you like really gets you jazzed up and happy, right? You've done the work to get yourself to the point where you can enjoy those activities again from being injured and being like, my bones hurt a lot, right? And having the what's the word? Uh creativity or the awareness and the insight and motivation to want to do better and not settle that this is as good as it gets because it's not, right? You can accelerate that healing. And that's what energy does is you'll get there, you'll heal, your body will form how it's going to form on its own. We're just getting it there faster. Same thing with stress, anxiety, worry, clutter, like you mentioned about people having clutter, people who aren't sleeping well. You can ease those things with your daily life, or you can accelerate it quicker when your energy is in alignment. We'll just get you there faster.
And I want to
Yeah.
say something else to this too, because what I heard you just say was so powerful. It's, I didn't buy into this was the way my life was going to be. I saw myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a senior and that's what I have to live with. And I was like, there is no way on this earth I'm going into my seniorhood in that kind of shape. I need to do something because I want to live my life. And so I chose not to buy into this. And I really want you guys each to understand this because it's regardless of what situation you're in, like you may have MS, you may have CP, you may have chronic breathing problems, and how you mentally enjoy day-to-day living changes the outcome of what your physical ailment. Can you explain that a little bit further? I think you probably have a even a deeper understanding of what I'm talking about than I do from a personal point of view.
It's 100%. It's your attitude, right? And making that conscious choice to make a new choice to live where you want to be, where you're going, than where you've been in the past, right? Making choices for enjoyment because we have literally it literally all of this energy medicine goes back to the limbic brain and to our emotional center in the brain. And when you have a rut, like your nervous system, central nervous system from the brain down the spinal column, right? Your nerves conduct and they make movement, right? So when you have a neural pathway that's just constantly always you're running the same line, right? You ride the same freeway to work every day, right? It's kind of similar to that in the sense. So you have a new choice, you're literally creating a new neural pathway. Then you have a moment like, oh, I'm triggered by this emotion that set me up that in the past I went down this road. Now I'm making a new choice and I'm going on this road. So when you make a new road, you're really literally you're actually creating a new neural pathway in your brain. When you make the choice over and over to say, I'm confronted with this feeling, I used to go here, I'm choosing consciously not to go there anymore. I see you. I don't want sadness. I want to breathe better if they're having COPD or something, right? I'm choosing health, vitality, wellness, love, joy, those higher frequency, higher vibration energies, wisdom, love, joy, understanding, comfort of self. You're actually going down a new neural pathway, then that becomes your rut. That becomes your natural guideline, right? And you're actually creating new neural pathways. And the more that we use them, they connect. And the ones that we don't use can fall off, right? So you're actually restructuring your limbic brain and your central nervous system. And then we move out of the central nervous system has the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, right? So we're moving into the parasympathetic nervous system where you can rest, relax, calm. Then your adrenals, your hormones, everything actually can take a breath, calm down. And we're not in that go, go, go because that's what it's used to. That's the rut. That's the freeway that it had always gone down that led you to, oh, I don't breathe so well. Right. So making a new choice, a new belief, that becomes your new rut, that becomes your new default. And then you have health, vitality, wellness, ease.
Wow.
Right. But it's a conscious choice that I help people to get into alignment, then they can make for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you one last question as we wind up, Dashka. I know that I'm amazed on a day-to-day basis how actually enjoyable I find my life because of how I've done exactly what you've basically been saying, changing that thought, refusing to let that old thought come in and literally creating those new neural paths. What is your life like now?
I'm trying to create balance. Well, I'm not trying to. I am creating balance, right? So I have a really good balance of home life, my business, my private practice, as I think of my business or my practice with my clients, and working at the hospital. So I have my time there where you get 100% of me. I'm dedicated to my job. And when I'm not at the hospital, I'm not there, right? Then I'm with my family and being a mom and a wife and a household and, all the things of having and my friends and activities and things that I love. So really just enjoying that balance of, I don't know, juggling all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was slightly an unfair question because I've had the ability to basically create my space in my world around my business, and you're still in the working force with the RN position. Having
Yeah.
said that, the opportunities that has provided for you have absolutely been immense too. So
Yeah. Yeah. And having, yeah, like an income and money and like the things of society that keeps us going and health insurance and all the things that we necessarily need. Right. So I'm
fair
not at a
enough.
place where I can walk away yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I love that. Dashka, thank you so much. And any questions that have been put into the chat, I will be forwarding them to you so that you
Great.
can provide me with the answers, and then I'll make sure that they go out to the appropriate people with regards to that. Or you can maybe create a video that I can put out to the group of listeners.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? Like I'm happy to discuss and connect and help people to unpack or understand the science behind energy medicine, how it works and why it is so profoundly effective and how it can just get you there to healing quicker, faster when you're in alignment. I love the stuff. I could talk about it all day. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
love that. So again, grab her offer, the Accelerate Healing Faster Breakthrough Planning Call. Dashka, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
really
Thank
blessed that
you.
you're in my circle.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, everybody.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye. Okay, I got to turn that off. Hang on a second here. There's her call. Give me a second. I got a million things happening here, and I realize I wasn't on the ball. I was so interested in listening to what Dashka had to say. Write your takeaways in the chat, please. In the meantime, as well, there's the link for her offer, and yeah, please do write your takeaways in the chat. There, close that. Okay, that's ready. Really interesting way of thinking about things, and especially for the people who are more scientific thinking, it's that understanding that like so many of us know about the aura field, but hearing it put into scientifical kinds of phrasing was really neat. Yeah, she is really an interesting soul. Like I love hearing her how she speaks now versus where like Kitty and I have known her for, and Camille too. The three of us have known her for a number of years, and to hear Dashka speak now, I'm just like, oh, she is doing so well. Like she's really stepped into owning who she really is, and that's what this whole theme with the All About Woo has been about, it's been about breath, it's about awareness, it's about changing our thoughts and way of thinking and stepping into a new way of thinking and owning ourselves in a very powerful manner. So yeah, if you don't mind just um, putting your takeaways in the chat. I know I put a whole bunch in there already, but I'd love to see some of yours to share. Our next guest speaker is the beautiful Kitty Budewig Foss, and she is here. So on the 45-minute mark, we will come back and have a listen to her. I just listened to her TikTok over on her astrological, her storytelling astrologic. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's come back here in about 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes. I guess it's closer to 12 minutes. We'll see you guys all shortly. Thank you.